Hi, I'm Sean, and I want to take you on a tour of my gaming space. First and foremost, we've got our table. Every good gaming space needs a good table. Secondly, we've got this camera that we use for overhead shots for games like Joking Hazard or Codenames, so that we can be focused on the cards and everyone can see them on the television instead of needing to cram on top of the table. We'll also use it for games like Formula Day, so we can zoom in on a particular part of the map so that everyone can see where everyone's cars are without everyone having to lean over and cram on top of each other over the map. Then in this back corner we've got one of my shelves filled with a variety of games, the biggest of which is Legendary. Then we've got the smaller bookcase that's for Codenames and Munchkin and a few other games. And then we have this third shelving unit that's filled with a wide variety of games. And we've also got my Rock Band guitars for when we're playing Rock Band, though we don't use the table or the camera for that. And then there's Natasha, sitting and watching over this whole thing, much like she does for our gaming sessions. Now, around the table, we've got two people will sit on the couch over there. We've got a chaise on this end for our third, a chaise on this end for our fourth, and that person usually gets to sit with Natasha. And then when we've got 5 or 6, we'll bring in a couple chairs over here so we can get 6 around the table quite comfortably. Now the table itself is 2 foot by 4 foot, which works, but it's a little small. For games like Ticket to Ride, the map fits, the cards fit around the table, but everyone needs their own trays off to the side for their trains and destination tickets. Or games like Carcassonne, you know, we can fit across the 4 foot just fine, but we always run into the edges on the 2 foot. We make it work because we enjoy the game, and it's about hanging out with your friends. And then there's Formula Day, which the map actually hangs off the table just a touch on each end. So the biggest drawback of the table, the top. It's hard plastic, it's loud, and it's slick. So when you're rolling a lot of dice for games like Roll For It or Dragonfarkle or King of Tokyo, they're loud when they hit the table and they have a tendency to slide off the top. We actually lost a Roll For It die under the couch for months. So because of these drawbacks between the size and the dice rolling, I'd been kicking around ideas of what I wanted to do to make a table topper for the table itself. While I had these ideas, I didn't really do anything about it until now, when I picked up Betrayal Legacy. Now I got into the Legacy games with Pandemic Legacy Season 1 and Season 2. Both games were fantastic. They had an amazing storyline, and it was really fun to play through the whole campaign. You know, the problem is, when you got to the end of the campaign, you were done with the game. There was no more replay to it. So when Betrayal Legacy came along, and I found out that once you finish the Legacy campaign, you have a copy of Betrayal at House on the Hill that's now customized from your Legacy campaign. So it's a very specific game for you and your gaming group that you've played through. And the game is great, and when we did the first couple chapters, it fit on this smaller table just fine. But we were quickly running out of room, so I needed to put together this table topper. So I went over to my friend Andy's house, who's a talented woodworker and has an amazing wood shop, and we drew up plans and put together this table topper over the course of a couple weekends, and I'm going to show it to you now. And here it is. So I made the table topper out of plywood that I covered with craft foam to give it good cushion for dice rolling, that we then put blue felt on top of. This felt is a really nice fabric to play games on top of, and I really like the color blue, and it goes with the rest of the room. Then we added this mahogany rail to help keep dice on the table when we're rolling, and other accessories so they don't get knocked off accidentally by an elbow or hand. Now I built the table in 2 halves that latch together in the middle so that it's easily stored and easy to move around. And I used these aprons on the side along with these corner pieces to really lock onto the tabletop, so when it's all fully assembled, it doesn't slide around and it sticks to the table. Now looking at the underside of the table, you can see how the table slides into the pocket created by the apron and corner pieces to really lock solidly onto the table. And then we've got these latches that really pull it together tight Now along each end on the inside of the apron there's craft foam, so that when the table squeezes together because of the latches, there's a soft bit that gives a little bit of give so that it locks onto the table and stays really tight. Along the edges you can see how tight the apron is to the side of the table, again really locking it in so that it can't slide laterally, coming all the way up to the triangle pieces in the corners that are locked into the underside of the table, so the table topper really sticks well to the top of the table. So my table's 2 foot by 4 foot, giving me 8 square feet of gaming surface, but now with the table topper, it's 3 foot by 5 1/3, doubling to 16 square feet of playing surface, which is just amazing to have that much more room. All the games fit on it now, and everybody's accessories are in front of them instead of off to the side on separate little tables, and it just makes gaming so much nicer, and the look just gives us a high-end feel. I'm really proud of how this came out. So that's my gaming space, my game collection, and my new table topper. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.